I'm preparing today a love cake. It's truly a celebration cake. I start with creaming the softened butter and sugar. I just want to make sure it's light and fluffy, but before it begins to curdle. We now add in the eggs one at a time. Very careful to not overmix, but just sufficient to blend the eggs into the mixture. Use about 6 eggs for this. That makes the batter quite runny. It is quite moist and rich and flavoursome. We now add in the zest of a lemon. It's quite important to not use too much pressure. What you want is just the flavour of the outermost covering and not the white layer underneath, which is the pith, and it does add bitterness. You certainly want to avoid that. Like so with the orange. Such lovely flavors. As you can see, it's beginning to give it such a beautiful color, the orange and the yellow. Next we add the honey, as well as the rose water. The ground spices, nutmeg, cardamom and cinnamon. I'm now going to add in the candied ginger stem. You want a bite of the ginger in each mouthful, so you don't need to chop it too fine, but certainly not too large. I'm going to just throw that in, and like so with the glazed cherries as well. Again, add some beautiful color and flavor as well. And now we add mixed peel and fold through gently. Now I add in the semolina. I'm just going to gently fold that in. Roughly crushed cashew nuts, so it's beginning to take shape. If you have a nut allergy, you could replace the ground cashew nuts with semolina. Over here I have a very good non-stick cake mold. It always helps to use some greaseproof paper at the bottom, and all we do now is turn the mixture in. It's quite moist, so it finds the corners fairly quickly. Tap it a couple of times. Now we just pop the cake into the oven, which has been preheated to 150. So as long as you've got a reliable oven, this is in for an hour and it will be done. The idea is to slow cook this cake. We have not used baking powder or soda, nor have we used whipped egg whites, so it's not going to rise much. The cake has been in the oven for an hour. We take it out now and leave it to cool for 20 minutes. So we place it on a wire rack, and if you don't have a cooling rack, this hob is ideal. What it allows is air to circulate and cool it from all sides. As you can see, it has a nice golden brown crust, a little extra browning on the sides, and it's come off the edges. We leave it to cool for 20 minutes. This particular tin has got a removable base, but if you have a regular cake tin, it's cool enough to turn over. As you can see with this one, just lift it off like so. If it's one with a removable base, gently ease the paper and the cake off from a corner. And now we portion it up as is traditionally done in small bite-sized squares. This will comfortably serve a large group of about 20 people, and part of the tradition of using the bite-sized pieces is most often you have people feeding each other, and it's ideal for that as well. We now sprinkle icing sugar, a nice dusting of it on the top. Now we're ready to portion out. And now finally a touch of color and make it attractive for the kids. So I'm just adding some jelly babies here along the sides. So now it's ready to serve, and this really is the best part. Not only is it called love cake, it's also a celebration cake. Ideal when you have family, a large gathering or friends around. So great to share with them and enjoy the delicious flavors. Make sure you grab a slice yourself. It's going to run out quick.